Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Drink and Draw, one that's already off the rails. We're having fun here. We've got a visitor from Greece who will be joining us shortly. We have a visitor from North Carolina who will be joining us shortly. But right now, it's just me, your moderator, your host, Ben, here with Joe Casada, Jeff Johnson, and Dan Van Ocean. And,
hi, everyone.
Whoa, arrogant bastard.
Oh, yeah, I got this one just for you.
Oh, so I'm wearing my my Greece hat in honor of Dave because he's going to be broadcasting from Greece. He's at a convention over there, but nothing means more to Dave Johnson than Drink and Draw. Nothing.
That's, yeah, definitely.
What's the closest you'll ever come to having a child?
Yeah, it's true.
Drink and Draw or Dave?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Dave is the father, the godfather of Drink and Draw, and we're all his children.
It really was his idea, and so we do owe all this to him in some way. You don't like that, do you?
He's culpable.
I don't like the fact that I don't like owing people.
You got to admit that you owe him for this.
It's true.
You can't stand that.
It sounds like a Clint Eastwood movie. What's that from Unforgiven?
Oh, well, then you shouldn't have put my friend up. What's the quote, Dan?
Yeah. Everybody has a baseball hat except for Mr. Joe Casada.
I didn't get the memo.
Yeah. Well, we're lucky we're broadcasting right now.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
I can go get a hat. Will that make you feel better? I mean,
there'd be unity in it.
Oh, jeez. All right.
We don't want that. We don't want.
Wait a minute. Did you? All right. So, what? Jeff, you're drinking Arrogant Bastard.
I'm drinking Arrogant Bastard.
All right.
Sorry, I got kicked off. I tried to use the Wi-Fi here and it kicked me off. So now I'm just on straight
boring,
whatever. Yeah.
Broadcast. So we're all. Yeah. Are you drinking it? You've already been drinking in Greece, right?
Dude,
You've been drinking ouzo.
Like you said, it's almost 4:00 in the morning, man. I am fucking 3 sheets to the goddamn wind. So,
that's the way to do a show.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, man, I had some of the best Sambuca tonight. I gotta find out what that bottle is because, oh my God, that was some good Sambuca. It tasted so good.
It's probably illegal in the States.
It probably is. What was the alcohol content? 190 proof?
I don't know, but it's definitely doing its number on. Plus, I was drinking Chimay.
Ooh, I love Chimay.
Wow, fancy.
Yeah, the monks know how to make a good beer.
Dude, we did 3 rounds. It was 6 of us, and the bill came to $66.
666.
Wow.
Well, I'm just saying in LA that would probably get you 3 drinks, But we did 3 rounds with 6 people, and it came to $66.
It's good being in an economy that's been destroyed.
Right? I mean, I bought a bottled water and a banana today, and it cost me 15 cents. I was like, yes.
Yeah, thank God for depressions.
Are you sure you're in Greece and not like?
You should know. You've been here a million times.
I don't know about that. I've been. I don't remember it being that cheap though.
Yeah. Way to gloat about their economy.
They're charging you married to one of ours rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, now it turns out I'm one of the Greeks to some degree. I don't like to,
So you like to overpay?
You've been fathered in, right?
I've been fathered in. Well, my father fathered me in, I guess. Well, Dave, are you going to draw or are you just going to sit there?
Dude, I don't even have a table in this place I'm staying in, so I got no way to draw.
Can we get a little? Can we get a little view of the room?
Well, there's my bed.
Oh.
And then there's a coffee table here with my suitcase on it, and then a kitchen, and then the bathroom.
Not a lot of things on the wall. Like there's not too much decor.
Wait, hold on. Let me show you what's outside.
All right.
Can you see anything? Can you see?
Did you guys see the dead body I just saw?
Yeah.
Hey Joe, what is that store page you have back there by your guitar? Is that a Kirby page?
No, that's that giant IDW Kirby book.
That is a different. What is that guitar? I swear that's a different guitar. Which one is that?
Yeah, it's the same guitar, the same two guitars that have been here since how many episodes I've been on? 9, 10, something like that.
Yeah, that looks like. I swear the other one was red.
You do this every week. It's the same guitar.
I feel like I'm losing my mind.
The red one's down there. Can you see the red one down there? It's there.
Yeah, but it was.
And
No,
the
there's
white
a
one.
different one up there by the Thor thing last time.
No, it's been the red one's been there and the white one's been up there.
All right. Well, I've always trusted you, so
You're the only guy that has a problem with this.
I don't know why. Whatever.
All right.
Who cares? All right. So what is that Thor? What is that Thor thing?
It's
That's the Kirby, the IDW book.
Yeah,
Cool. Okay, yeah.
Those things are outstanding.
Yeah.
Can we talk about controversial subjects tonight?
Whoa, what was that, Dave?
Whoa, maybe.
Like you being an alcoholic.
I can barely talk right now. Holy shit. So drunk. Let me tell you.
What type of subjects do you want to
here's the thing,
broker here?
Wait. Here's the thing about Greek conventions. They take you out to dinner.
Mhm.
You don't even see a menu. They just start bringing you food.
Oh, that's true.
And it's literally insane.
Did you have octopus?
Total octopus, fish, what is it?
The fish with the fins and the gills and everything.
Well, you got a meat section and a fish.
Whoa,
section
that's crazy.
And,
What?
Yeah.
So it's virtually every sort of food.
Did you have
Mortgage board?
sea urchin?
And here's the other thing that was killing me yesterday is I got to the point where I didn't want to eat anymore, and then the waiter would just come over and scoop some more food out of the main dish and put it on my plate.
That's hospitality.
Well, I know, but I'm like, God damn it, I'm full. But now I feel obligated to keep eating.
Mhm.
So yeah, I've eaten way too much already. So,
Dave,
but I'm enjoying every minute of it. So
What you're saying is the convention fed you. That's what you're saying.
They
oh my
definitely.
God, yeah. If every convention fed me like this, I'd be 500 pounds. So
I just went to a convention in Mississippi for a free comic book day, and I had some of the best food I've ever had. It was amazing. I've never had crawdad before. Have you ever had crawfish?
Oh yeah.
yeah.
It's a lot of work, but it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's too much work for me. It's too much
Yeah.
work.
What should we draw here? Do you guys like drawing pictures? Any of you?
I don't know if I like it so much as it's the only thing I can do.
What are you drawing, Jeff?
I am drawing a sorceress character from my new book, Rogue's Kingdom, that will eventually show up and be the bane of the hero's existence.
So you hate women?
Why are you gonna make the woman the villain?
Yeah. What's up with that,
What are
Jeff?
you
Well,
trying to
she's
say,
not the
Jeff?
first villain. But she,
Oh, so she's
it's
not
equal
even
opportunity.
important
She's
enough.
one of the villains.
No, that's what I'm
Not
hearing.
even important enough. So what you're saying is women aren't important. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, Dave,
You're a
yeah,
terrible
that's what
human being, Jeff. You're a terrible
Dave
human
Johnson,
being.
what's the Twitter?
Let's
Yeah.
just go ahead, drunk Dave. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we knew this one was going to be a disaster. That looks pretty cool, Jeff. At first I thought it was looks a little bit like Wonder Woman, but that cool design on her forehead.
Are you ripping off Wonder Woman, John Jeff?
So everything we do is insinuating Jeff's a bad person. Great.
Yeah,
Well, he is.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
I think so.
That's a little intense.
The hair, really.
All right. That's
Is that better?
Hey, when do we start streaming?
Yeah, any minute now.
There yet, are we?
yeah. Any minute now we're gonna go live.
Already we're going to have to edit the hell out of this one.
I'm ready to come up the stream.
Stanford's about 10 minutes away from saving.
Okay, I'm almost warmed up. You want to-
Stanford's probably
Here we go.
watching right now, and he's like,
Regretting.
you know what? I don't have to log on.
Yeah.
Sanford Greene is teaching a class right now, so he works like a maniac.
He really
does.
does. He produces.
Yeah, and he's teaching a class.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
And he has a choice right now.
Yeah.
Right, he has a choice to make. Is that what you're saying, Joe?
He's probably going to say, you know what? Skip it.
He doesn't have
Watching the feed, he's a smart man in bailing, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
he might come into it blind.
I wouldn't blame him.
All right, I'm done with that.
Ooh, so
Done
much
with
for
that.
Daredevil.
So, Joe, are you working on your special project tonight?
I'm still working on my special project. Yeah, I wanted to do something that I could show today, but unfortunately, I'm behind. So got to get the stuff done next week.
It's a porno comic, isn't it?
What?
Just admit it. It's a porno comic.
A porno comic?
Yeah.
No.
No? All right. I took a shot.
Yep.
It's going to be an orgy of action.
Oh.
Ooh, Jeff.
I just came up
Nice.
with that right off the
Our
top.
very own Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I can still barely
Don
hear
Draper.
Jeff. What's
It
wrong
will
with
be
that?
like making love to your eyes when you see this.
I think,
Good thing.
yeah. I am drawing a happy-go-lucky Wolverine.
Hey, you still owe me a Gomer Pyle, you fucker.
You want me to draw Gomer Pyle? I
I
will.
want to see you draw Gomer. I want to see you draw a badass Gomer Pyle.
Is there such a thing?
Well, he was.
There
He was
could be.
wasn't he a
If Dan
Marine?
did it.
Wasn't he a Marine?
Yeah.
What was Gomer Pyle? United States Marine Corps, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, but didn't he mostly clean toilets? Wasn't that his jam?
I don't know if that was his jam necessarily, but it might have been one of his
Rumor.
responsibilities. Yeah.
You say stuff like that and you start rumors, you know? Next thing you know, not cool.
So Ben, I don't know if you're checking the chat, and it's probably like 6,000 people in there already, but
There's actually 27, which is about 10 more than we would normally have.
Oh, nice.
Welcome to everyone watching the disaster.
Yeah. If there were more, definitely have to apologize to Twitter tomorrow.
Yeah, there's gonna be a statement made.
This is actually a pretty close approximation to a real drink and draw.
True.
In what sense?
Everyone's
Me
favorite.
being in Greece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's hardly anybody there. Dave is drunk, basically. Right?
Yeah. Dave's all by himself at the bar. Men
Hey
are
man, I was
crying.
hanging out with Manu. I can't remember his last name. He was in Gladiator.
Wait a minute. Are you talking about that crazy Australian dude who's
Yeah,
Deathstroke?
he's, New Zealand. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
that
a
guy.
fucking riot, man.
Yeah, he is pretty funny.
Yeah.
I met him one time in a hotel lobby, and the bars had just closed.
Where's the story going, Dan? Where's the story going?
Just two lonely men on the convention circuit. who like
Both
to
with
lift,
spiky hair.
yeah, who'd like to lift weights, you know.
Is he a coke and baby old guy himself, or
He's got a pretty good
yeah.
tan. He's got a pretty good tan.
Yeah, super tan.
Yeah.
No, he's a great guy. He's super nice. Unlike most Hollywood people.
Really?
Wow.
that's a
I'm just making that up. I'm just making that up.
I mean, we live in Hollywood. You know,
That's
tons
true.
of Hollywood people.
Yeah, you're right. They're all pretty nice.
Aren't you guys Hollywood people?
We're technically Hollywood people.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't know it by going to a convention. You know, we get the shitty green room and
I don't.
Yeah, I went to. I'm going to go to one
I certainly don't.
in a few weeks, and it's the same.
Yeah. No, they treat me pretty good.
Wait, you're going to Iceland, Jeff?
New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand. Oh man, you're gonna love it. You've been there before, though, right?
Oh yeah, I've been a couple times. I'm doing
Yeah.
2 shows, one on the South Island and one on the North Island, and
Wait. They had a show in the South Island?
they're going to, yeah. In
Oh my
Christchurch.
god.
Are
There's
you-
like nobody in the South Island. That's crazy.
Are you
They
lying,
all
Jeff?
come to the convention.
I think you're lying, Jeff.
Jeff, are you a liar?
Driving Jeff out there and
Are,
killing.
are they just gonna invite sheep to that one?
Jeff, you seem a little bit like a liar to me.
Seem like it.
You know what? I'll send pictures.
How much hair does this woman have, by the way? What's going on there? Is that
She has
all hair?
the hair. She has all of it.
She's like Medusa.
In a way.
It's all hair.
She's a wild Wiccan.
Is she lying on a bed or like on a rocks or a grassy plain, and the hair is all just splayed out? Or
She's casting a powerful spell.
Yeah, it's fueled by rage.
oh, okay, all right. Here-
And
so
by
it's blo-
Clairol.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, great hair.
I accept that.
Sponsored by VO5.
Yeah,
Yeah, if we get any sponsors, I'll take it.
yeah. At this rate, if we had any, they'd be gone. By the way,
Yeah.
Woo.
yeah,
Hey Dave, I heard you lost your Quaker Oats sponsorship after last week.
it's probably true.
I heard they just said no.
They said no.
So Dan,
All
you just learned the secret of why I say I'm doing a secret drawing. I really
Well,
am not.
I'm doing some secret work myself.
Well, no, I can't stand being criticized by you. You're very harsh and critical,
I know.
and so I would just rather keep my stuff to myself and live in my own fantasy that I don't meet your standards. And it's okay, I get it. You have very high standards, but
Well, nobody meets Dan's standards. Let's be
you
honest.
guys are clearly braver than I am because
You should hear the shit Dan talks about when nobody's listening.
Well, how would you know? How would you know what I'm talking about if no one's listening?
Well, I have
Dan's
a good
beloved.
imagination.
Dave, tell us because Dan's beloved, and I really would like to see a chink in the armor. You know,
Yeah, that kind of hurts, Dave.
You would not believe the venom that comes out of Dan's mouth sometimes.
That's kindness.
Tell us. Dig into this, drunk Dave. Tell us. I want to know.
Careful, Davey. You're treading on thin ice here, boy.
His universal hatred for Jack Kirby and everything Jack Kirby is amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Understandable, though.
And Charles Schultz, he hates Charles Schultz.
It's the only artist I really strongly dislike. It's true. If we're going to talk about it, let's talk about it. I really don't like.
You know what? I remember that.
I don't like Kirby, and I don't like Ditko. Those are the two. Yeah.
Personally,
I just don't like their work and just how they treated the fans. Honestly.
But you love Stan Lee.
Oh, I love Stan Lee. That's what I was saying.
did Ditko ever even go to a show? Was he ever at a show?
I don't think so.
I think there's like maybe 2 photographs of Ditko.
I mean, he was a recluse from the very beginning, wasn't he?
I think you would have to leave his apartment to actually go to a show. So I don't think that ever happened.
I inked Steve Ditko once, and it was a tragedy.
He hated it.
Oh, of course, he hated it. I inked him. That's when I was wanting to be Scott Williams and doing a lousy job of it.
What gig was that?
I don't even want to say because it'll get pulled up on the internet and I'll be shamed by it. But I'm sure Ditko hated it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Oh, I'm sure he hated it too.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have liked
it.
It
wasn't Ayn Randian enough.
A was not A that day.
Gray is gray. Black is no. There is no gray. Black
is no gray. Black,
yeah, it's
black
either A or B, black or white.
So I was at a show, Dan, this weekend, and someone pulled up something that I had forgotten I had done. Have you ever had that happen?
Constantly.
So unbeknownst, like I had 100% forgotten that I had done a Beavis and Butthead page in their book. Do you remember that when they had a book?
No.
They had a bunch of actual comic artists come in and do like fight scenes that the Beavis and Butthead would make commentary on.
Seriously? No, I don't remember that. Wow.
I mean, I was kind of a dick too. It's like, oh, did you do this? Beavis and Butthead? Like, no. Ridiculous. No, I would never do that. And of course, it was me.
Oh.
Yeah, there was a Dave Johnson who did some Robotech issues, and I'm constantly getting asked to sign those, and I'm like, I don't know who this guy is. I don't know what happened to him or what, but he is no longer in the industry. So
really, some Dave Johnson.
Good?
Dave Johnson.
Yeah, such a unique name. It's amazing that
there were a couple Dan Panosians. You ever see those books that you don't like that were inked poorly? That was the other Dan Panosian.
That was the other Dan.
Yeah, and no one knows what happened to that guy. It's weird.
I was inked by that guy.
Yeah.
So was Jeff.
Yeah.
So was I.
Yeah.
Well, you were in charge of a racing detail out of my first gig.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I'm throwing Bill Ray under the bus for that one.
Good.
Dave, do you want me to draw Jim Neighbors
as a badass? I want to see if you can actually draw Jim Neighbors as a badass.
How about
challenge? Remember his sergeant? Remember his sergeant was kind of always hated him. Yeah, sergeant was awesome. Yeah.
Yes, I could draw him. He looks like Frank Thierry a little bit. I can draw him.
Well, if you want to punk out, sure.
Look, you're saying there was a moment in time where Gomer Pyle, normally a little bit, on the silly side and very nice and kindly, but there was a moment where he's like, guess what? It's getting real, and I gotta.
Hey, just think of him like if he had gone through Full Metal Jacket.
I mean, he was a Marine. He did graduate boot.
God, you know what? This is unbelievable. Of course, I just found a perfect drawing. It looks like Bill Sienkiewicz did it of Gomer Pyle.
What?
Let's see it. Put it up on screen.
Put it up.
I have to do the whole.
I love your hat.
It's my Greek hat.
Yeah.
For Dave.
Yeah. How long are you in Greece when you come back?
It is Bill Sienkiewicz. Bill Sienkiewicz drew this.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I'm in Greece till the 14th.
Damn.
Yeah. Well, it's over the weekend, and then I leave Tuesday. So
how's the show? Is it busy?
Oh, well, the show starts tomorrow. So
Okay,
I'm going to
so you're
be
getting
completely
having a
fucked up
pre-party.
for the show. Yeah.
All right.
Show's going to be bad for me.
Oh, it's not that bad.
Well, considering, it starts at 10 and it's now 4 o'clock in the morning. Yeah.
Have some eggs and coffee, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
Start smoking.
Yeah, a little
There
hair of the
you
dog
go.
will set you up. A little more, a couple shots of ouzo, you'll be fine.
Hair of the dog.
Yeah, I was.
All right,
I was actually
here's
hanging out with
here's the can you guys see this? Is he sharing it?
Damn.
That's Bill
Well,
Sienkiewicz's drawing of Jim
So
Neighbors.
when Jim Neighbors died.
Yeah.
Look tough.
No, he doesn't look. He doesn't. Dave likes a tough guy. Apparently, this is not
I
a.
just want to see you try to make him tough. That's what I want to see.
You do, huh? Well,
Give him a
this is.
bayonet.
Give him a bayonet. Can he still be smiling?
Of course. That's even creepier. That's even tougher.
All right.
Just
Draw a current version of Jim Neighbors.
just do like the origin of Gomer Pyle. This is the thing that made him. The dark day that made him realize he had.
Can I just trace Bill's drawing or?
Seems fair.
I do it. I do it all the
Don't
time.
you do that always?
I just have his what's that? Straight toasters out, and I just use that for everything.
Well, some of that might have been Al Columbia. So.
Oh, Columbia.
By the way, have we ever discussed on here that we never want to have Bill draw us because?
Yeah, I mean you're
then we'd be
dying.
dead.
Yeah, exactly. It's,
Yeah.
Bill's doing your portrait. That's a bad day for you.
Yeah, do not draw my portrait, Bill, ever.
But at
In
the
fact,
same
if you
time,
keep
I
us from
kind of want
drawing
to
you, you
see
might live
it.
forever.
Yeah, I want to see it before I die. So
Well, let's fake your death, Dave.
Well, yeah, that would be.
No, just really die. Die. Go ahead.
Or maybe if I knew I had a finite time and I could go, Bill, I want to see.
We all have a
portrait
finite
Yeah,
time.
Dave, guess what?
Before
Bad
I die.
news. Good
Yeah,
news.
we all have
Yeah.
a finite time.
Guys, here's the secret. I was sworn I would never say this, but Bill's pre-drawn these, and and he takes them out whenever he gets to somebody, and when he does, it's over.
It's
I actually believe that they're so well drawn and so
Yeah.
perfect, and they come out moments before these people pass away. I mean, more moments before, moments after. It would really be all right. We have to investigate the guy at that point.
Bill,
You think Bill's a serial killer?
Yeah.
No, maybe Bill is the Grim Reaper.
Exactly.
Now I will draw you. Soon you will be dead.
Yep.
I'm doing. There is one badass photo of Jim Neighbors, and I'm using that as my reference point.
Speaking of people dying,
Oh gosh.
can I just
Keep
tell
it
you,
upbeat.
can I tell you guys about one of my pet peeves?
Please.
Yes, let's hear it.
You know,
People dying.
when people die and people eulogize them or talk about them on on social and stuff like that, and
It's all about them.
it's all about them. Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah.
drives me nuts.
Yeah.
And I don't think they realize it. You know what I mean? It's like relaying. Instead of talking about the person and saying, "Hey, they meant X, Y, and Z to the world." It's like, did you know that person and I did X, Y, and Z? And it's like,
I've probably been guilty of that once or twice, but
Yeah.
I typically will not.
Now, you know what it is? If it's a best friend, if it's somebody like that, then yeah, you know what I mean. I personally hate doing it. I actually have been, and sometimes you get asked, could you, add a personal, memory, and so okay, so you do that, but man, that just drives me up the wall.
Yeah. I used to give a friend of mine a hard time about that, but
Now he's dead.
no, that friend just blocked me on Twitter, so it's harder every time he does it to give him shit about it.
Hey, speaking of that, didn't Mobius his birthday just come up?
Excuse me, I believe you mean Moebius? Yes.
Moebius, yeah. Wouldn't he have been 81 or something like that?
But he isn't, though. I mean, no offense.
I said would have.
Okay.
There's a lot of anger in this episode.
Yeah, Dan.
Yeah.
Let me
It's
bet
my
with you.
fault.
You're not going to make it to 81.
How do you know I'm not? I'm pretty healthy.
Spoiler
None of us are
alert.
going to make it to 81.
None of us
Surprised we're
are?
still alive now.
No, but Dan, you have a kid. That's going to sap your life energy from you.
It's
And
supposed to give me life.
Those are mine.
it
According to
usually
who?
doesn't work it that way.
Oh.
Ben, is that how it works?
Yeah, it's all bullshit.
Yeah, Ben's got 3 kids, so he's doomed.
Do you
pretty
feel as though
quickly.
you're going to live to be 100 now, Ben?
I feel the life being sucked out of me constantly. No, they're not. They're not terrible. They have their
Or is
use.
that just called a great blowjob?
Okay. Once again,
Drunk Dave took it to the next level.
we're getting booted off.
Dane, just go to Twitter and apologize right now.
I apologize.
Keep the apologies coming.
Get it over
Big
with.
Uzo.
Hey, when you're in Greece, you shouldn't have to apologize for anything. Just saying.
What are you doing in Greece, dude? What's going
That's
on?
how it works.
Yeah.
What is going
What
on?
the English said when they
Yeah,
stole
a
everything.
whole new set of rules.
Uh-oh. Sanford's here.
Oh,
Well,
what do you
well.
want to know?
He's got music playing. That's not good.
Oh,
Sanford. Oh,
Oh,
hey.
Can you hear us?
I needed to have some dramatic music
Your,
for my
yeah,
entrance.
your fight music. your
Entrance.
Cool.
Stanford.
Yeah.
You don't want any part of this. Trust me.
Yeah, it's been going pretty
Yeah,
badly.
Run away. Run away while you can.
I figured when I saw the list of names,
Uh-huh.
I knew that I had to be a part of this.
Dave is in Greece and he's
Totally out of
drunk, by the
my,
way. Dave's drunk already.
Well, it's 4:30 in the morning now, right? Isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
Everyone
close
should be
to it?
drunk at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah. What else?
Yeah.
What do you expect at 4:30 in the morning? Sleeping?
Yeah, precisely. What do you think? I'm a piker? I don't even know what that means.
A hiker.
Well, apologize, Dave. Start the
Doesn't sound
apology.
Yeah.
Now,
What am I?
Now I've insulted the pikers. Whoever. They
What am I? What am I? A person who lives on a lake?
So I see that I came in right on time.
Yeah.
So you were teaching a class, Sanford?
Yes, I did. As a matter of fact, I got this from my class as a thank you gift.
Oh. Nice.
What is it?
That's
Toblerone.
a candy, right?
Where else?
Yeah.
I thought it was a box of cigars, but I was wrong.
No,
No,
it's
it's
great
delicious.
chocolate.
It's that great chocolate, yeah.
Yeah. Delicious.
So, my wife will
Well,
love it.
Maybe they want you to get diabetes.
Dave. See, that's what you.
Yeah. Way to turn a gift around.
Yeah. Maybe they're trying to kill you.
Hey,
Good.
Dan, this is the first time somebody's actually been on drink and draw, having drunk too much.
So far, yeah.
Yeah.
This
I
is
think-
why it's hard to get Dave any kind of present. He just assumes that you're trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Often right though.
They tried that last semester and it didn't work, so they gave me chocolate this time.
Smart.
Oh, that's
Smart.
kind.
Holy
What's the
shit,
class
man, you
about? What are you teaching them?
I'm teaching basically character design and like world building.
Cool.
Just how to design environments and how to do like I said, just world building. It's more of a class after you graduate with a degree.
Mm.
Like most of these kids, they graduate and they don't really, they're in limbo for a while, for like 3-4 years trying to find a job. And, they meet someone like Joe who tells them they're not ready. they need some training, and they feel super deflated because they spent 4 to 6 years training, right? So I try to at least get them to have the right mindset about how the whole system works, or how to build after school.
After Joe Casado wrecks their life.
After-
by telling them they're
After
terrible.
Joe tells them, it's not going to happen, buddy. You
Wow.
need
By the way, the secret to this, Sanford, is that if they're really, really good, you tell them they're not ready because
That
competition.
just makes them better.
You know what's interesting? There's a young lady in the class who I've had that conversation with, which is kind of, it's very it's energizing, to be honest with you, because I mean, let's just be honest, a lot of these kids, for every 50, maybe 5 might be in a place to where they could they can actually do something, right? So
So you're
think
saying 10%? That's a pretty good average.
I think I thought about that, and I was like, maybe I'm being a little modest with that, but I think there's in my class, it's a very small class, but it's we have 9 students, and 3 of them are really good. But again, this is trying to, we're going after the cream of the crop, so it's not like it's some average class with a lot of ranges of artistic ability. Most of these guys are already either graduated from art college or they are close to graduating. So they know what it takes, at least from a mental standpoint. They're already in that place. So I'm sorry, I made this a lot more academic and upscale than you guys wanted it to be.
Well, certainly based on where this thing has gone so far, it's welcome.
Sanford, I understood you. I can't speak for the rest of the guys. But trying to be the voice of reason here. Also, the one not drinking.
Yeah.
How long have you? Yeah, sound like I'm drunk. How long have you drinking, Sanford?
I'm drinking, but
How long have you been teaching?
I've been doing it now for about 6 years.
Right. So have you noticed that certain classes that come in and you're like amazed at how many talented people are in that class and other class? I mean, it changes from class to class, or
well, this is my first year doing it this way, because I told the college that I teach is my alma mater here in South Carolina. It's Benedict College, and it's an awesome institution. But I think the thing that I got from my years being there, and that honestly goes with any school, even a school like a SCAD or a Ringling school or SVA, any of those schools, you're going to have, even though those schools have, they're in high regard, you're going to have students similar to what you just said, Joe, about how there's some that are really good, and then there's going to be a lot more that aren't, even in those colleges. That's probably, it's honestly about the same where I teach, and I was kind of fascinated by that, because at first I was like, I went to well, I won't name the school, but I went to a pretty prestigious art college a couple of weeks ago, well, months ago, and those kids weren't any better than the kids that I taught.
Right. Yeah.
I was like, oh man, that was kind of sobering to see that, but at the same time, it was kind of invigorating too, because it was like, okay, these kids are. They have a chance just as much as a kid that goes to, SVA or whatever. So,
well, that's good to know.
Yeah. When SCAD had me come down and do senior portfolio reviews, I think I looked at 40 portfolios, and there were only 2 women that I thought had any kind of shot at making it in any kind of art industry. And one of them is Cassandra, who's married to Eric Canetti right now.
Oh, so you met her then?
Yeah, that's where I met her, and
Oh, wow.
I told her, I said, you need to move out to LA because I think you could easily get work in animation.
Or
And she did.
and you knew Eric would be the one for her.
Well, what do you guys think is the distinguishing factor between
Eric is the distinguishing factor.
Eric was
apart
the
from the
distinguishing factor.
wonderfulness of Eric? What like? Is it an age that you start drawing, or is it a kind of training program? What do you think's the difference?
Honestly, I mean,
Whoa, we got Sanford here. Sanford's actually a teacher.
yeah,
You're just like, you showed up for one day to tell these students something. Sanford sees it every day.
And you're drunk.
And you're drunk.
Nobody
I'll
wants to
tell
hear
you my opinion, but yeah.
No,
yeah,
we're not. We're specifically not asking you.
All right, fair.
I've been, for the record, I've not speaking about me, but I've been around drunk art teachers, and they're pretty fantastic. So there's hope for you, Dave.
I've learned a lot from Dave when he's drunk. That's all.
Actually, I have too. A lot about life.
Yeah,
And just how sensitive a man can be.
I totally forgot. What was the question?
What do you think? So, what do you think the different factors are? Like, what do you think when you see a student? What separates one from the others? Is it like the age they started drawing, natural
When they
talent,
enrolled,
certain a different kind of drawing regimen?
I think it's a combination of okay. So I'll use the actual class that I'm in right now. And I think this works with any level. It's just your mindset. Like there's a certain intangible deal that keeps these kids growing beyond whatever we show them, right? It's like if I tell a student, hey, I want you to draw 20 hands doing various things, and they come back with 50, right? Most will give me exactly what I asked for. And then there's that few that will go beyond that without even having any kind of direction or instruction. You see what I'm saying?
So
Did he say erection?
Kind of.
Did he say erection?
no, he didn't, Dave.
Oh, it must be.
He didn't say that.
Dave, go to sleep. Go to sleep, Dave.
Not yet.
lay down, Dave.
Not yet, anyway.
Oh boy.
Is this live or pre-recorded?
This is live, unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Dave, remember when I begged you? I said, even if you're in Greece and it's 4:30 or 5 in the morning, please come on. Remember that conversation?
So, Dave, where are you at?
I'm
Where are
in
you?
Greece.
Oh my goodness.
He's at about a 3.0 alcohol levels right now.
Yeah, basically.
He's way above the legal limit.
I've been drinking Chimay and Zambuca. So yeah.
The erection comment. So
let's deal with that for a second.
Sure,
Yeah.
let's go back to that.
okay. Mind you, I probably need to shut my door because I got kids right next door, and my lovely wife who hears the word erection and she's like, okay,
Yeah.
that
It's game on. Is it game
No,
on at that point?
No, it's like no more kids.
Oh.
exactly.
By the way,
Yeah.
that's a sweet. You got a couple of sweet comic book racks behind you. That's pretty impressive. Just saying.
I got a couple of racks, yes.
You got a great rack.
Is that the Michael Golden Doctor Strange I see back there?
Michael Bolton.
The
Michael Golden.
Oh, Michael Golden.
oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
That guy.
I can spot that a mile away. Oh yeah,
We should
Wow.
get him on.
yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
It could happen.
He doesn't drink anymore, I hear.
Yeah.
I
Sanford's
say
not
the-
drinking. Are you
the
drinking,
coolest-
Sanford?
I am.
Oh,
Oh, a Ron Wilson thing number what?
A flask.
What issue of thing was that? With Ron
Oh,
Wilson.
that was that 2-in-1 annual.
Oh,
I
okay.
remember that one.
I actually would love to do like something like that again.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be kind of cool. Joe.
In case any, just
Feels like
out
is that
there,
right?
in case anyone's interested.
Yeah.
I'm not editor in chief anymore. You know,
Say it again.
I'm not editor in chief. I mean, Jeff Johnson's been begging me for work every week.
I send him emails on the hour every hour.
Yeah.
This right here is probably one of my favorite Goldens.
Is that the one I drew? No.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
So
Why did I try to fish for a compliment? I never did any G.I. Joe.
You're a terrible fisherman.
Yeah.
Since I'm on a roll here, have you guys seen this? Seen this deal?
Wow.
No, what's that?
So this is the artist edition of.
Oh, I have seen that.
So what? If you really want a great podcast with Michael Golden, ask him about this. And so get him on. Ask him about this. And
Is it the G.I. Joe?
yeah. So and sit back for about 2 hours, and let him have the floor.
What if we only give him an hour?
Is that going to be enough?
You probably would want to make sure he's drinking so that he could you can control him. So, well,
It's a shame. It's a shame those originals are disappearing because you did them in a shitty marker.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of people did. Like Gil Kane originals are that way too. I mean, the Gil Kane stuff, you can buy that, and it has only a few more years left.
Apparently, Jim Lee has all those pages, and they're turning grayer and brown, like light brown, every year.
Which ones?
The G.I. Joe pages.
The yearbook pages.
Oh,
yeah.
Shucks. Well,
yeah.
I got this artist edition has. They look awesome.
Oh, they do. Maybe they enhanced them a little bit.
They must have pushed the values on them. I saw a page from this at Heritage that's going for the cat page. You guys?
Oh yeah. Well, that was didn't Armando Gill ink those?
Oh yeah. Well,
yeah.
This.
Yeah. Well, we don't talk about Armando anymore.
I think it was Armando, but
Armando. I'm drunk.
Yeah, we talk about Armando. We don't talk about Armando.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't talk about our man.
I believe his name is Armando.
Armando.
Yeah.
We can talk about Armando, but not. You got to
like Commandy.
Commandy. See, I can do this without drinking, man. I could.
Excellent.
So, I was going to ask you guys. What are we working on?
I was drawing Gomer Pyle, and then for Dave Johnson, and I realized, why am I doing that? That's why. Why am I listening to him? Just because he wants me? It was a horrible drawing, and well, here it is. Let's see. So far,
you already finished it?
Well, I started it. It was kind of a strange.
Blame Gomer for that.
It almost looks like Forrest Gump more than.
It does actually. Maybe that was the inspiration for Forrest Gump.
I was about to say. I think that's.
I think we just figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where Forrest came from, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
An upscale Gomer Pyle.
Unfortunately, my connection is such that I'm not getting any of that stuff, so I didn't see any of it.
Well, I just put it up there very fast so nobody would see it. That was the whole idea.
Dave, are you talking about your computer or your synapses?
If I had a computer, I'm doing it on my iPhone. So.
Oh, that's why you were doing the gangster. You had a gangster lean happening there, David.
That's
yeah. That's why I turned the video off, because I was just like, why? Nobody needs to see me sitting on a couch. So.
That's not true. There's a few people that probably do.
Well, unless I was naked, maybe.
Oh boy!
All right, challenge accepted.
Thank you and good night.
is there any kind of like response from viewership during this?
Never.
None of
Nobody.
None of it.
Yeah, I guess sometimes people ask questions.
Let me go back up to the top here and see if there are any questions for you early.
Like, who's the black guy?
Why is Sanford so sexy? That kind of stuff.
There's a lot of that.
There was a lot of that.
Doesn't he have
Okay,
something better to do?
There's probably that.
There's probably a few of those, I would believe.
Yeah.
There's a lot of commentary on the minimal amount of drawing done on Drink and Draw.
Well,
Oh, my
well, if I
God.
wasn't drawing friggin' Gomer Pyle, maybe we'd
If
have
I
some.
wasn't in Greece,
Yeah. Whoever said
with
that's
no
a hole.
table.
I'm drawing Sweargin from Deadwood at this point.
You moved
I
on.
heard he likes the Celestials.
Yeah.
Who are you drawing cosplaying as Sweargin?
Dave.
Stanford, are you gonna draw something?
I am, but
You got to pay him.
Yeah.
There is a fee. There's a fee.
We can't afford that next year, maybe, when we get some more viewership.
Wait, this is a union show?
Yeah.
Exactly.
But the thing is, I'm on my Cintiq, which is out of view. I don't know if you guys here.
Well, you should have a share feature to the left. You can share whatever you have on your system.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Scientist Dave shows up.
Hey, I'm starting to sober up now.
Oh no, that's terrible.
No, it's going to ruin the broadcast. Yeah.
I know. It's like,
So Sanford, do you
Yeah.
ever tell your students like they could have bought like the How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way for $15 and saved a shitload of tuition? You ever tell them that?
All right. Well, are you trying to get Sanford fired?
you know what's funny?
What's going on here? Well, he's never going to do the show again, thanks to you. First of all, he's already regretting it. His wife's already like, "You waste your time doing what?"
Yeah, talking about erections and how to draw comics Marvel way.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand.
They do go hand in hand.
That's how I got my first erection.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
now we're in
Dan
Marvel.
took care of it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! But you know what's funny? I actually, I brought that in a few times, and yeah, I still swear by that thing. It's pretty awesome resource. So I use it. I print out copies of certain pages and give it to students as handouts. So instead of like a curriculum, I'll use that sometimes. So I'm giving it away. I'm not charging them for it, for the record.
Well, I'd hope not.
Yeah.
I mean, they've already paid enough, right? I mean,
Well, I'm not.
I said, I learned from that book everything.
Yeah, actually, Jeff did. Right?
and then you tried to rewrite it.
I did. I tried to make a compendium, not necessarily rewrite it.
Oh well, true enough.
Oh, what did you try to do?
Jeff did a how to draw book, and this is all an elaborate. This isn't even a real live stream. This is just a way for Jeff to come get employment from you, so he could be a teacher.
Sure, I wouldn't mind being a teacher. Now, I'm actually going to teach when I'm going to New Zealand. I'm actually teaching a class at the college, the animation college there. We're doing like a little workshop on maybe a bunch of different topics. We haven't settled on topics yet, but
So it sounds like it's going to be a great class.
yeah. Well, it depends. If they want us to teach about fight scenes, we'll do that. If they want us to teach about just doing a lineup, we'll do that. But also breaking down, like we have a bunch of different ones planned.
Okay.
Oh, that sounds.
Well, I guess we'll have to take your word on that.
Or you come to New Zealand, you're welcome.
It sounds legit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
But I
really
have
going to
a
be
friend in
something there.
Canada who's
Yeah.
totally cool.
Hey Jeff, can you use that one panel that you ripped off for me twice?
I've
Can
already
you do
done
it a third time?
Yes, I'm fitting it into everything I do from now on. If you look, if you look at any of the comic book stuff I've done in the last 10 years, that panel is in there.
Anytime you need a character running through the streets, you just go back to that one
Absolutely.
panel.
Well, running through the
Yeah.
streets, running through any kind of like jump off the line. I have to use it as a flying pose. Dave, I've gotten my money's worth.
Multifaceted, multi usage.
Well, it was a good panel.
Yeah, no, you did it great. You did a great panel, Dave. I appreciate it.
Yeah, clearly.
Speaking of being ripped off, Dave, are you still doing character design work for animation?
Ooh, ouch.
Ow.
Ooh.
Take that.
No,
Am I Dusty Abel? What?
that wasn't towards him. That's something that he.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah.
But Dave does rip stuff off, though.
Yeah, but let's establish that Dave does.
Oh,
Yeah,
oh,
well,
yeah.
My whole hey, let's be honest. My whole career has been ripped off. I've ripped off so many other people. So, no, currently I'm not doing any character design work at the moment. So,
At the MoMA? What?
at the moment,
The MoMA.
Mama.
What?
Shoot.
I really think that you should have gotten a percentage of all the Ben 10 watches that were sold. I think that would.
Man, I was actually
so
at
that's,
Target buying a gift for Dan's son, and I was looking at the latest round of Ben 10 toys, and I was like, "Yep, that's my design. That's my design. That's my design."
Oh, so I guess
Like-
we're naming names. I didn't know we were gonna take it there, but hey, there you go. I was trying to make sure I was not,
You're being politic.
yeah, very very politically. Oh my goodness, trying to be
Yeah, trying to be a nice guy, unlike
Trying not to
everybody
be-
else on this show.
Yeah, that's
I have to admit that Dave getting screwed over by Ben 10 actually allowed me into animation.
And also, let's be honest, also, a little bit of karma happening there. I
Oh.
think.
with what?
Well, the fact that, Dave's not a
Oops,
great.
sorry, I got kicked off.
Oh.
Yeah. I
So
think the guys who own Ben 10 kicked me off.
Yeah.
No, I don't blame them. I made a bad deal, and
You don't hate the player.
No, it's
You
not
hate the
their fault.
game more so.
Yeah,
The game's messed up.
yeah, the game is messed up.
So
It's a
so I guess for those watching, the
Mhm.
three people that are watching, what
Rub it in. Thanks a lot.
what
Great.
what would you say? What would you say? Because this is something that my students they ask all the time about.
about me.
Yeah.
that too,
No.
You are a cautionary tale.
you are an original IP man.
Yeah.
So they want to know about original IP, and they it's totally different now, in my opinion, than it was back then. Even as recent as the Ben 10 stuff, like now you can do a web comic or self-publish. Like it's a lot more. The resources are a lot more available. Like we would have to, when we were coming up, we would have to go to conventions just to get
Well,
work.
I was hired as a journeyman. I basically, I mean, the Men of Action guys pitched Ben 10 about 3 years before I even came on board, and what they pitched was basically Dial H for Hero, except it was called Ben 10.
Mhm.
And originally their pitch was Ben would turn into 10 different superheroes, and over the course of development, which they really
Oh,
Well,
We
so
lost
much for
Dave.
Dave. Dave just fell off a roof.
he did. The Ben 10 crew came in and said, "That's enough."
Just cut that out.
Right.
That's
He passed out, guys. I hate to tell you, but I think he passed out.
Yeah,
So when-
he's
so
out
when
cold.
When
Yeah.
Dave comes back, you can pick up
Frozen.
where he left off. But Sanford, like your webtoon,
get kicked off again.
Awesome.
I got
Yes.
kicked off again.
Yeah, we kicked you off,
Um,
Dave. That was us.
No, but basically, by the time I came on, they hired me to design it. Well, they didn't hire me. Cartoon Network hired me to design a show, and I had to come up with all this stuff without any input, because they didn't like any of the input that was done before I even got there.
So you saved everything.
But ultimately, because of that, I don't get any percentage because I was basically work for hire. So
Right.
it and which sucks, because all the toys and all the merchandise is based on my designs, my ideas.
Me.
Yeah. But I would tell your students, don't give anything away for free, even if it means a job, because it ultimately, then you'll just end up being
Bitter and drunk in Greece
and
one
angry
day.
and in Greece. Yeah.
It's not a bad place to be bitter and drunk.
I mean, the worst part is when it came out, there was an article that came out that said Ben 10 has now made over $1 billion. And I'm just like, fuck. Like, I get nothing of that. So,
well,
So so when you were approached with that,
to me, it was a step up. I was working on Legion of Superheroes as a background and character designer.
Job I took.
And it was a job that Jeff took.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a step up because I was going to be an art director, and I thought that would maybe lead to, if the show's a hit, then I thought, that would be a good stepping stone to pitch my own show or to get onto higher shows. And it just didn't work out that way. So basically, I got a paycheck, and they got a bunch of free designs, or a bunch of designs that they've now made, constantly over and over and over again. And I get nothing for. So, it was, so I would suggest that they maybe not do that. That was,
Hey, Dave, just sort of speaking as devil's advocate, because, in retrospect, I think we've all made deals like that, right? Where we go, Jesus, man, I can't believe I gave away the farm by not asking for more. But, the other thing to keep in mind, I think, with young artists is that, sometimes you have to give away the farm, because if you say, well, I'm not going to do those designs for you unless I get a piece, most of these IP holders are going to say, that's really great, we're moving on. You know what I mean? And you don't end up getting a gig. And I think for young artists, that gig is important, and then, can eventually establish you for something else down the road. In retrospect, I get what you're saying, but chances, I don't know what your situation was, but, thinking it through, they may have just said, thanks, Dave, but you know what? There's a million concept designers out here, that we can get work from. We'll do it for, X, Y, and Z.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, don't get me wrong. It is what it is. But it was just it was how Cartoon Network kind of treated me. Like when the toys started coming out, like I would walk into the producer's office, and it would be, floor to ceiling of toys that were all out of my head.
Right.
And I'd be like, hey, I'd like some of those. And he'd go, well, yeah, Target's right down the street.
Oh.
And I'd be like, what? Seriously? So, it was kind of like, fuck you for designing all this shit, and I'm like, and that's why I left after the second season. I was like, why am I putting all this effort into something I get no equity in, like I could just go back to drawing comics and just have fun. It would be way easier, and I wouldn't have any regrets about it. So that's why I left.
But you wouldn't have built any character as a person. Well,
that and the guy that was directly above me was just the biggest dickweed I've ever worked with in my life.
And his name is again? What was?
Fuck it. His name was Alex Soto. Fuck him.
Okay.
I don't make any bones about it. He's a fucking total asshole. And I said, I'm a grown ass man. I don't need this kind of shit. So I quit.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Okay. Well, all right.
That explains.
That's my opinion of him. That's not a fact. That's just my opinion. So
take that as you will.
Well, based on your opinion, I've had quite a few conversations with him.
Oh,
and
okay, here we go.
Well, it's one of those things where, all right, I don't want to go down. Man, this podcast can really suck you in, man.
It really hits home.
Yeah, let's talk about.
Look. Hey, here's the thing about Soto. He can act like he's your best friend, but he's
And then what
stabbing you
about the
in back
reality
at
of
the
it,
same
though?
time. Yeah, and I'm
Oh.
like,
Well, Dave, the truth of the matter is nobody's your best friend. So
Yeah.
I love Dave.
Well,
Dan tells me otherwise.
yeah. I thought you loved me, Jeff.
I tolerate you.
Oh. Seems to be with a lot of people, too.
That's fair, right?
No.
But Sanford, so you.
Step up for most
so
people.
I looked. I've always loved your comic book stuff, but I hadn't seen a bunch of your animation stuff, and I looked up 1000. That is crazy cool shit.
Thanks.
Did you do? So you did all the animation for that that cartoon webtoon, and in addition to the actual webtoon.
Yeah. So, a little known fact, I have an animation studio, and I think part of it is I just found these dudes on DeviantArt a few years ago, and
Wait, did we lose Dave?
I hope so.
Oh
Some-
no, that's sad. No, I hope he comes back. I'm sorry, Sanford. Go on.
No, man, I tell you what, I will listen to Dan and Dave. It'll be a podcast just called Dan and Dave.
Yeah, that's my whole life. That's why I go to Drink and Draw.
Oh my goodness! So I have an animation studio that I founded. Well, actually, it's going over 3 years now. Found these dudes on DeviantArt, fresh out of college, and super talented. And I had an idea that I wanted to do something, some kind of proof of concept, because you have all these ideas and design stuff. It's kind of like, in a weird kind of way, it's because of something that happened to me, similar to what happened to Dave. I hope he's back on, because
Dave just texted me and he said
he's done.
He just keeps getting bumped off the internet, and it's super late, and he's got to do a convention tomorrow morning. So maybe it's for the best.
Yeah. I wanted him to chime in so I could hear his take. We've had this conversation before where I did some design work for an animation for a concept that did pretty well, and it got a Netflix deal and all that crazy stuff, and and I wasn't super bitter about I wasn't bitter at all really about it doing well and not really seeing anything other than the initial check, because I knew what it was.
Right.
I've been involved in that sort of thing too, with DreamWorks, and it's called work for hire, and you go in knowing what it is. So
yeah.
Right. So long story short, that wasn't the issue for me. What became the problem was when I saw the credits, and I wasn't credited as or even an acknowledgement, of being a part of it, because I did the initial designs, and I did the illustrations for there was a children's book that came out. So I did, like, if it wasn't for what I did, none of that would be that's the source material.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like, the Jack Kirby thing, if you will. It's like I may not have written it per se, but I visually gave it life. So they took those ideas and they expanded on that and made the animated show. And when I saw that I wasn't credited for it, it just kind of really set me back. And long story short, I just I knew that I needed to get my ideas out there, like my ideas, and I had this thing kind of looming, and I met those guys.
The Webtoons people, or the
Well, I met the Webtoons people shortly after I met my team animators, and I just said, you know what, these Webtoons people, they've been talking to me for some time, and I just was like, you know what, now's the time. I think it's just kind of, it's just meant to be, where I just take this leap, if you will, and that's what I did. And man, it was one of those things where I'm like, dang, I wish I had done this sooner because it just became a pretty successful thing for me. But it's one of those things where you're doing so much work for hire, doing other work for Big Two or what have you. You just don't have time to do a lot of your own work because a lot of those create our own projects. Honestly, it's more of a sweat equity, if you will. So you're not really getting immediate return. So you just kind of you just have to invest and hope for the best. So long story short, I had the team. They were excited about the idea, and then once I had that in place, I approached the guys at Webtoons, and they didn't know that I was gonna. I'm kind of crazy, man. They just wanted a comic series, but I wanted to do something. I was just thinking in terms of, man, with what I just went through with this previous project, and from what I saw, Webtoons, the potential of Webtoons.
There's lots of potential with that format. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I was just like, why not? Let's try to get let's push this thing a little bit more here. There's so much potential.
Well, I loved your on the webtoon itself, not the cartoon, the
Right.
thing, which was amazing. The actual cartoon, the webtoon itself, like the format was super cool.
Yeah.
You had music especially for it done, which is awesome.
Yeah. I mean, all of it was the music. I'm actually working on. Well, I guess I can put this out there. I'm working on another deal similar to that one, but it's going to. I'm going to have my son do the music.
Your son? Wow,
yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, my son is pretty talented, man, when it comes to music production. So, and he's only, he's still in high school, so he's just got that ear for music. He plays, well, he used to play the drums, and now he's.
Did you ever play music, Sanford?
Yeah, in high school, I played.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I played the trombone for.
What? That's the nerdiest of all instruments.
Okay.
That's
the guest. He's a guest, Jeff.
I'm just saying. I had a friend who played trombone, and he played for the high school, like the band. He always played at football shows.
Yep.
Okay.
And I would go. I mean, it's
it's
not lead guitar. It's
right. I'm sorry. You just said football. What? Football show?
Yeah, I caught that too.
Football shows.
Football show. Oh, right.
Hey, football shows.
I'm an expert on nerdy.
No wonder you don't like the trombone, man.
Yeah.
The football shows were too violent for me, Sanford. They were too aggressive.
Those darn football shows.
Oh man, those football shows.
Yeah.
The worst.
So you down here, football is like God. That's a religion down here, man.
Right.
So
that's what we're going to talk. We've kind of disparaged everything else, every other subject. So
I'm
now we
not
can
messing
talk
with
about
TikTok.
religion
No,
and politics and
no.
really get going.
we talked briefly this morning.
Yeah, we did. We were testing out. The reason this program that everyone's watching right now is such high quality is we really do a lot of testing. And so Sanford and I were testing the connections this morning to see if it could work, and because we care about all the 26 people watching.
Sure, we pick up quality.
Yeah. So immediately, I think did we talk for 10 seconds and we were already talking politics?
You heard
Well, I heard some NPR.
Yeah, you overheard me doing the NPR thing, and I just went on a tangent after that. So
yeah, and I had just woken up from.
And that's what you want to hear. You want to hear me.
I want to be reminded that I'm dissatisfied with my with my whole life.
With your government.
Yeah.
Good times.
But I think I don't know. I kind of rambled there, but for the most part, we decided to. I wanted to do the that animated proof of concept, just to give an extra dimension to.
Well, I guess that makes sense based on your experience prior. You'd want to go look here. You want to see the source material? It's right here.
Well,
Right.
did you storyboard that 1,000?
The animated. Yes. Yeah.
That was great boards. Do you think that doing boards and doing comics affect each other? Like, have you done like? How would you say they're different?
Honestly, the board, like doing boards, I did one other. I don't consider myself an expert on any of that stuff, but I kind of know what I want for that, right? So if outside of that, I probably couldn't board well unless I had some serious direction. But it did. So I don't know if it really helped me or not. I just kind of knew what I wanted, and I just kind of did some images based on what I saw in my head. And
there's some pretty sophisticated camera movements in there.
Yeah. I mean, well, my initial boards wasn't really all those viewpoints, those camera angles. It was just the basic information.
Okay.
Character A moves with character B in this direction, and my animators would then take that and I guess if you want to call it a storyboard revisions, that would be what they did. And we went back and forth over choices for angles, and then we just made our final decisions based on those two things, on those several things, if that makes sense.
Looking at this thing that you're drawing right there, Sanford, it's kind of cool. While you were talking, I got to see it's basically your inspiration board.
Yeah.
And despite the fact that you have like the photograph exactly the way it is, you took all sorts of liberties and changing it up to suit what you need there. Is it just you practicing, or is that for something specific?
This is for Archie cover, actually.
Oh, cool.
Say that,
She's making a jukebox selection there.
Yeah, basically, it's going to be, once I get it all kind of in the right place here. It's going to be a couple of kids listening to the new Archie's record. That's basically the idea. I don't know if that's been done before. I would imagine it has been at some point, but well, what are you gonna do, man?
Well, apart from teaching and doing the Archie covers, what are you working on right now?
Well, I got my series work, my image book, Bitter Root, that's
Got some heat.
got a little bit of heat.
Yeah. Can you talk about that or not?
Here I'll show you what I'm working on. There's a these are really, really, really rough layouts for the summer special that we're doing. It's kind of an annual. We stole Marvel's idea and
What?
doing that.
Lawsuit. We're waiting for that.
Hey, I gave credit where credit is due.
You are being served, sir.
Yep. The evidence is right here. We were going to delete this entire live stream based on everything that was been said earlier.
Now he's gonna subpoena.
Now we got to keep it, Sanford. Sorry.
Hey, that word subpoena is a very, like, does that word even mean anything anymore?
Doesn't it? Doesn't it means zero?
Dan and I were
Apparently so. It doesn't
Yeah.
mean anything based on where
There's no ramifications for a word like that.
Yeah, Dan, remember
Stanford,
when
what-
we subpoenaed?
I would know. I would know. I've been subpoenaed how many times?
Well, you and I were subpoenaed, but they didn't find out our last names, so it just was Dan Doe and Jeff Doe. Do you remember that?
I remember you and I in a courtroom. I remember they weren't too pleased about us there.
Hey, Sanford, so what's your next big Marvel project?
was that Joe that asked
That's
that?
me, yeah.
That was Joe. You had mentioned a Marvel project, like a dream Marvel project.
Yeah.
You tell me, sir.
You know we love you at Marvel.
Oh well.
No,
Well,
I mean,
that's cool.
you know, the conditional wisdom right now is that you're working on your creator-owned stuff. So, you know.
Yeah.
Well, your work on Iron Fist, Power Man Iron Fist was awesome.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I was so jealous of that stuff.
That stuff was great.
You want to know something, Dan? Your Slots book was inspiration for that. Well, part of it anyway.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was, man.
Shh, Joe. Shh.
You should let the man speak. Come on.
Yeah, he's got something important to say here.
It's important to say. But no, seriously, working on Bitterroot. It's called The Red Summer, and
I love that sky. That's so cool.
Cover to
Damn.
Look at those colors. That's just amazing.
Do you color stuff yourself, Sanford?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me upset.
Damn you.
Even more upset.
No.
That's so cool. Great colors. Oh, man.
I'll tell you what. This right here is.
By the way, that's very Michael Golden inspired.
Yeah,
those are cool colors, like the purples and oranges, reds.
That's so Michael Golden, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Michael. I call him by Michael. I call him by his first name because we got it like that. Actually, no, we don't. But but he's definitely one of my art heroes. Just design sense, especially when it comes to like architecture, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he bends. He draws so beautifully, like beautifully realistically, but he also bends perspectives and warps things.
Yeah, if he gets the right photograph, he really knows how to use it.
Yeah,
he's a photo tracer. I don't know if anybody knows that about him.
Yeah.
Oh,
man, giving away the secret.
No, that guy's like insane. It's like the lens in that man's eye.
Right.
Yeah.
The way he could just like warp perspective is crazy.
Remember his Ghost
He's a
Rider
one of a
comic?
kind.
well, it's
What?
not only just his lens, his mind's eye lens,
Yeah.
actual lens that he draws on like those Punisher covers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The scope. I heard that. I don't know how true this is, but I heard that he drew all of the actual scopes with a brush,
What?
Oh wow.
freehand.
Yeah, no, he works just with a brush, right?
I
Yeah.
don't know. I've never seen him ink. I mean, I remember John Beatty would ink that stuff, and I saw some original. I used to see some originals that Beatty was working on,
Mm.
and I remember looking at those Jurassic Park covers that he did for Topps, and they were like, double the size of your typical 11x17 cover. They were just massive,
Right.
Mm.
and every inch was filled up with like scales on the dinosaurs and every leaf. but it wasn't overdone. Like he had a way of like, it's super detail intensive, but at the same time, he knows when to leave detail out, and you don't notice that as much because he's so good at like leading the eye, and he knows where to spot, all the blacks, all the whites, and put everything together, and it's pretty perfect. Detail wise too, he knows where to draw the eye. So even on a cover that had so much detail, he controls the whole thing.
Yeah. Sanford, in case you haven't noticed, I think Dan is fishing for you to have.
I'm trying to circle back to the slots conversation we were having.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, it just work, man. Yeah, that slot stuff is awesome.
That's cool.
It's on my short stack. My short stack. You can't see it. Well, you won't see it because I got the screen on. But
good way to cover.
Yeah, you'll never see it, Dan.
You'll never see it. But
one of the things I love about
in my mind, that's where it is.
Yeah.
One thing I love about Dan's slot stuff is like he is intimate and very intimate with the martial arts.
Did you say Dan's slot stuff or Dan's slot?
Dan's
punctuation is super important
because Dan's slot's not on this stream.
Right.
I'm trying to derail this conversation as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Wise.
That's cool, Sanford.
Hey Jeff, how's that tribute band thing going for you? The YouTube tribute band thing. You're looking like the Edge today.
Oh, listen, it's cold in my house.
Jeff can't afford heat,
and I can't like.
All right, let's talk about slots. Let's talk about Dan's slot.
Yeah. Right. Dan's slot. We could have Dan's slot on.
Dan Slot.
Yeah, I'd love to have Dan Slot on. I remember Dan Slot walking around I don't know if he was an intern first or he's just an assistant editor first when I used to be at Marvel, and he would spout off all his ideas. No one would listen to him whatsoever. They would just like abuse that poor guy endlessly, and nothing stopped him, nothing derailed him. He just and all those ideas that I used to hear him talk about, he's made every single one of them kind of come true story wise. It's really cool.
It's funny you mentioned that, Dan. If I can be serious for 1 second and actually back to one of the conversations we were having with Sanford. I remember my senior year of college. I went to SVA, and I was far from I was an illustration major. I was far from like the best student in my class. But your senior year SVA, you take what's called senior illustration class, and basically all it is the entire graduating class. It's in an amphitheater, and the teacher shows you how to voucher, how to prepare you. You do no job. You basically prepare you for the business of getting out of school and learning how to run your business, how to treat your name as a brand, and et cetera, et cetera. Our teacher for that senior year was Marshall Arisman. I don't know if you guys know Marshall Arisman, but he was the preeminent illustrator at that time, cover illustrator for magazines and stuff, and still is. And I remember him telling the class that there must have been like over 100 kids in this room. And he said to the class, literally, the first thing out of the box was, I want you guys to know that out of everybody in this class, illustration class, maybe 3 of you will end up being working illustrators, right? And you can see all the jaws drop in the class, right? Like, oh my God, I just spent 4 years of tuition money, and you're telling us only 3? And he said, and chances are that the best illustrators in this class might not be one of the 3. And then you can see all the kids that were like the really good illustrators go, what? Yeah. And I'm in the back going, yeah, okay, I'm all ears.
I'm back in.
Yeah. And what he basically talked about was exactly that, which is you could have 2 kids going out into the world to freelance, right? And one is clearly a superior artist. The other one is, got some raw makings and stuff, but they're made out of different mental stuff, right? And ego stuff. And they go out into the world. And, when you start hitting that professional world, Dan, you know this, all you guys know this, right? You're going to get rejected. Your portfolio is going to get rejected. And because people are going to say to you, why, whether they say it or not, but they're thinking, why would I hire you, kid, when I could hire Sanford Greene, right? Or I could hire all these really, real good professionals.
Right.
And you'll get rejected. You'll knock your head around. And by the 10th rejection, this kid that's really talented is getting, sort of just sort of disillusioned. The kid that's made out of different stuff goes out there and accepts the rejection and takes it and takes all the feedback and makes it, makes your portfolio better. Right. The other kid maybe gets a little resentful because, they don't disagree with the critiques, right? And I've had this. I've given critiques to kids who are just sponges and they absorb it. And I've given it to others who really get resentful and say, you don't know what you're talking about. I know my stuff, right?
Yeah, why would you know, Joe?
Right. Well, how would you know?
Right. By the 25th time, that really talented kid is just giving up. He's just out. The other kid keeps going. 50 rejections, 100. By the 104th, first portfolio review, they get that job and they get their foot in the door and they'll start working, and that's it. They're a professional, And so sometimes it's also it's having talent, but it's also having the talent to understand. To keep going, right? And that stuff that just keeps you driven to do it, to become better. Because a guy like Dan Slott, man, you talk about a guy who worked his way from the lowest,
especially the mailroom,
Yeah. I think Dan was doing art returns at Marvel at one point,
Yeah, maybe he was.
And I think everybody here, has really, has come from the, from sort of the bottom up. There's no other way to really do it. But that, I think that's also when I lecture kids or I see portfolios with kids, so much of it also has to do with, their attitude towards the critique, and the way they handle their career moving forward.
Yeah.
So sorry, that was.
Yeah, no, Dan Slott was just tenacious and nothing stopped him. Like people would say no. I heard he heard a lot of no's and he just kept coming back with more and more stuff.
Yeah.
And now he's huge.
I would say,
right? Yeah, he's great. Like, and I think Joe, you're 100% right. Like, when I would get rejected, I mean, I got tons of rejection letters, tons of go to shows, be like, you're not ready yet. I was even told once by one of the image guys to not quit my day job.
Yeah.
So, but I just thought all right, well, I don't have a day job. This is the only thing I know how to do.
Yeah, I'm almost. I was kind of like that scene in I forgot the name of the movie. Endgame. It just came out a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a small little indie movie. Yeah.
It did okay, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and Cap, he says, he doesn't know what.
No spoilers.
Spoilers. Yeah, we're talking about artists. We're talking about school and how it fails us, and politics and religion, and we're going to also talk about
Avengers
from Endgame. But I think what Cap said is kind of like that's what my mindset was. It was like, I don't know what else I would do if this doesn't work.
Yeah,
you have to almost put yourself in a corner like that to have that drive, because I did this workshop. It had nothing to do with comics, but it was all about, I guess it was about creativity and using your creativity to be successful. What is success, and so on and so forth. And it was pretty profound, because there was the thing that the instructor wrote on the board was, no one is coming.
That's a great thing to say.
Yeah. And it's like, he broke it down. He was like, what does that mean? And we all were like, oh, that means, you're not going to get. We were thinking about it somewhat in the ballpark of what he was saying, what he was going to say, but what he really meant was, you really have to treat it as if you have to do it, because no one's coming. Mm-hmm. And you can't rely on someone. You can't rely on, quote unquote, the hookup or the or anything like that, because those things are so few and far in between, or the lucky break, or whatever you want to call it. A lot of it is 90% of it is being very, very consistent in working hard. So
Right. What's the Thomas Edison quote? Like, it's success is 99% perspiration and 1% inspiration.
I don't know the math per se, but
Yeah, I think it's
close,
full.
right?
Thomas Edison was full of shit.
yeah.
What did he know?
I'll tell you what, man, everyone's getting it on this podcast. That's pretty awesome.
We're ripping Edison.
Yeah. There's a lot of wisdom being thrown around here in this room.
Hey, man, I feel honored.
Do you? When you watch it, well, you may never watch it again. But you might want to repeat
You
it.
guys think the goal's higher than this, man.
Yeah. Well, we're almost at 2 hours here, which is a record time because of So maybe we should do the last call here, and maybe we show our drawings and.
Well, I'm not.
Well, you're actually you and Joe are wisely working on real things.
Yeah.
Dave, by the way, just texted me and said, "Tell everybody I had a good time."
He's still
he's still awake. I think he keeps stumbling into walls, like a video game character that you just keep pushing the button.
Just on a side note, like Dave gave me his job doing backgrounds on Justice League Unlimited, and he went on to do Ben 10. And I have to say, he did create a multi-million-billion-dollar universe. It's 100. Like, if you look at those original drawings, it's 100% Dave. Like, no one else could have done that.
Right.
It's all right. It was okay.
What are you saying?
I mean, I think Dave's awesome.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Well, let's see here. I'll show my little drawing of. Whoops. Did I have the light on?
Oh.
Sweargin. There he is.
Oh, it's Sweargin. Oh.
Yeah, and he's doing his typical cursing. That everybody loved on the show.
Excellent.
Oh gosh, it's a blackout. Jeff can't afford heat. I can't afford electricity.
We're both in the same boat.
Yeah. We're actually in the same room. We're different rooms in the same house.
It's same floor house.
Yeah.
So I did. This is one of the characters from my upcoming book, an image. She's a sorceress.
Supreme.
Yeah, but it's a good chance to practice here.
Man. 2 in 1 day. Love it.
You don't really have. I don't have the visual proof of that you can actually sue me, Joe. I don't have the evidence. You have visual evidence right there. That was just.
By the way, it's not Marvel. I'm personally suing people. I'm just.
Yeah. Trust me, Steve.
I'm just a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying, Jeff. That looks awesome.
Oh, thanks, man.
Needs more hair, probably.
Well, yeah, it's gonna have a little more hair.
Did anybody see? There was a drawing, Jeff, online of Petal Wolf riding the winged tiger you drew from the other episode. Did you check that out?
That yet? Is it awesome?
No, it is awesome. It's super awesome.
Glorious.
Yeah.
Everyone draws the character so much better than I do.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Yeah. Did you show it?
I don't have it pulled up. I thought you'd see it. I think you were tagged on it or drink _ draw.
All right, I'll look for it.
Yeah, on our Twitter has it because he tagged it.
All right.
This is where you guys are missing your opportunity. Somebody should be drawing Petal Wolf every episode.
If Jeff should drop this fantasy book of his that he's been working on and just do Petal Wolf.
Listen, I'll learn from Dave's mistakes. I'll jump in on more on this.
Yeah.
Can't you be like everybody else and just monetize your stream? I mean, come on.
Yeah. Well, we're at 1,000 subscribers. I think we lost about 50 on this one, so now we're at 950. But one day we'll get up there and we'll super monetize it. And,
I surely hope that I am not the cause of that.
No, it's mostly Dave. Mostly Dave. But there'll be so many ads on our live stream. Like you'll be just trying to push things away to see the drawings, but there'll be a pop-up box. You'll hit that X, and another one will pop up, and it'll be awesome.
Yeah, that's winning.
That's our goal. That's what we're hoping for.
Sure.
Your goal is to get sponsorship to the point to where
you can no longer see the artwork or the people behind it.
Matter.
Yeah.
Okay. I can dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey Dan, can I make 2 observations about this show before we?
Oh no! All right.
Yes, Joe, please save us.
I mean, this is my baby. You know.
One, I
Okay.
like Drunk Dave better than regular Dave.
Agreed.
Yeah, Drunk Dave's
Agreed.
awesome.
I think we need to get Dave. 2, when the guest comes in a little bit later, like Sanford, it's terrible because we're left to our own devices. We just start losing viewers like crazy.
We need the guest. We need the guest
Yeah,
immediately.
we depend on the guest.
Yeah. Not Sanford's fault. I'm just saying that if you know, yeah, we should.
We're gonna sue Sanford for a lot of things, but not that. Okay.
No. Because with the guests are great. We suck, but the guests are awesome.
If it was just the 3 of us or 4 of us, and then Ben silently judging us the entire time.
Well, Ben, so how was your show, Ben? Did you take care of a lot of business on the side?
Oh yeah, it's been great. I had to go get another beer.
Beautiful.
You definitely got the drinking part covered for
I've
Drink
been
and Draw.
watching the Cardinal game, and it's good.
Perfect.
But yeah, it was a lot of people. Glad to have them all joining us through this, mostly disastrous show early on, and kind of salvaged into a modicum of programming once Sanford showed up. Thankfully,
Yes,
God for Sanford. 3 cheers for Sanford.
ran Drunk Dave out, and things got a little better. So.
Improved. Yeah.
I actually like Drunk Dave as well.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the text where I'll gotta get in 4 hours.
Yeah. Why did you guys let me do that? Mute me.
The text is going to be, "Hey guys, I'm sorry I missed the drink and draw."
Yeah,
How was the show last night?
It was on? What?
Yeah.
Evidence.
Wait, I said what?
The worst.
Actually, you know, again, you can really screw with him and tell him that he actually said some things that he clearly didn't say.
Oh, definitely.
Oh yeah, we're doing
Every day I mess with him. I'm constantly lying to him and making stuff up, and I usually get him on at least one thing per day.
Yeah,
That's kind of everybody, though, isn't it?
That's the only thing that makes me happy.
he's clearly very gullible. I mean, especially look at the Ben 10 deal, right?
I know they really got him on that one. That's on him.
Oh, they got him good.
They're probably sitting there saying, "Who can we call that'll do this?"
Yeah,
Who is
It's a $1
not?
billion idea.
we got a great idea on our hands.
Yeah, I know it's getting Dave Johnson.
Yeah.
Well, then-
Oh, and they're like, oh yeah, Dave, get him.
Oh yeah. He's usually drunk and gullible.
Yeah, and traveling. He's
Yeah.
the time zone difference.
It's very refreshing to know that he's probably listening right now and laughing.
He is. He would be.
Or he,
If he is listening, Dave, don't go to sleep. Just stay up at this point. Go straight to the show.
Dave carries
Drink
with
coffee,
him.
That shit's powerful.
Dave, I'll say this before we go. Dave has so many, like, he takes his beard very seriously. He has lots of beard grooming oils, and a lot of people will see him because of this show, and they've been like a lot of like grooming products will send him grooming things. So he's always like rubbing like mink oil or different like things in his beard and combing it and going, look, what if I did this? And I'm like, well, I don't know about that. And then, just like during the day, I'll get a lot of selfies from Dave with like his beard and mustache in various positions. Like,
Dave's vain?
oh, it's not vain. He's just very creative. He's very creative with like his beard shaping.
Oh.
Yeah.
What
He's an
about
artist
the
through
rest
and
of his
through.
grooming? Is he
Yeah.
clean?
So he runs it by me, and then I just give my opinion.
Is he creative with the rest of his grooming, Dan?
Mostly the beard. I mean, he's detail conscious,
All right.
which is good.
Okay.
He's got to be.
All right.
Of course.
I hear you manscapes like all the way.
Yeah. He'll do like that.
is like that. Mitch Jarrett.
Oh, actually, in reality, Mitch is that way. True.
He's very, very much. That's who you get on the next time because he
Oh
loves,
boy. Yeah, he likes his bourbon and scotch.
he loves to drink and he loves to massage his beard. So
He's got a glorious beard. He actually has a better beard than Dave by far.
what you guys should do is have a drink off grooming contest between
Oh,
Oh, man. Well, I'm going to have to give it to Mitch on because Dave's kind of a lightweight with the drinking, and then I don't know if he's ever combed his beard.
but you know what? It's a challenge for Dave. I think this is a good challenge.
Dave does like a challenge.
Those are
So there's
challenge.
that.
Wait a minute. You said Dave is a lightweight?
Oh yeah, when it comes to drinking,
Really?
yeah, he doesn't drink. He has like 2 beers and he's done.
Oh my gosh, I've been lied
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, no. Dave like will nurse a vodka for a long time.
Yeah, he'll sit there and he'll hold it. And
It's all an image thing with him, man. That's all it is.
It's all lights. Yeah.
You
Well,
Smoke and mirrors with Dave Johnson.
It's all smoking.
Yeah.
That's a little disappointing because
I know, but it's a good thing. His liver's going to thank him.
He's into the whole Hemingway thing,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of a Hemingway of our times.
Yeah.
Part Hemingway.
Brains out with a shotgun.
Aw.
Yeah, a Greek shotgun. All right, everybody. Well, it's been fun. Thank you very much, Sanford, for joining us. Hopefully, you can do it again sometime.
Yeah, Sarah, that was amazing. Thanks for coming on. That was
I will come in. So this is the regular cast, or
Yeah.
this is it.
I love how
It
he said
doesn't get any better than this. Sam.
so it doesn't get any better than this. So
That's what I heard too. Like, is this the B team or is this the A team?
Yeah, this is
yeah, I was gonna say, all right. So where's the real?
No, this is
Yeah.
Oh man, that was funny.
All right, everybody.
All right, play us off, Dan.
All right.
We're sorry.
Yeah, everybody, round of apologies and good night, everyone. Cheers.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Peace.